Are you a big fan of trash fighting games with overly simplistic controls, bland forgettable characters, and a gimmick so annoying you will ignore it? Then drop on in and grab your player too, as we throw down with the bargain bin, low-skill, pathetic attempt to get a TV show that dared defy typical fighting game standards like competitive play, special move inputs, and having more than one attack button. Many fans will claim they love it for trying something different, and for its campy Saturday anime appeal, but really, it's that game you bought because the girl on the cover had amazing tits. This is Evil Zone. There is no sarcasm when I call this a bargain bin exclusive. The memory of purchasing the game used from a Blockbuster for only $1 is still very clear in my mind. For those of you who don't know what a Blockbuster is, what the fuck are you doing watching my videos? You are clearly not old enough for this content. The rest of you probably have similar memories of the scratched up gold that could be found there. Who doesn't like a barely functioning version of Codelco with a magnet strip taped to the front? The point being, I was that nerd who got this only because there was an anime girl on the cover, and in the late 90s you had very little options when it came to that compared to now. Coming in with a whopping 9 playable characters, if you don't count the boss, and we do not count the unlockable bosses in this house, our options are not great, with every character meant to represent a specific anime archetype. Meaning that they can never be anything more than a generic forgettable stereotype, and not even a good stereotype. They're all not terrible, with Setsuna clearly getting more love than the other characters from the developers, having a magical girl yokai hunter setup. Or Danzaver, going so hard with the Sentai gimmick that he would be welcome among the Ginyu Force. But you also have knockoffs of the bad tropes, like Lindwell being that random goth villain who does bad things because he loves Satan or some lame shit.
You have a great body. It looks truly delicious.
Well, thank you for noticing. I've been working out. I went with Aurel this run since she feels like the de facto main character among the ensemble cast, even showing up in her boyfriend's ending more than him. She's got a fun, bouncy personality and the tightest onesie available. And because of that costume choice, we are also playing the uncensored version, since in the West they found her polygonal buns to be too hot for TV, slapping some shorts on. That always confused me, since they did not bother to edit the FMVs. Let's get this road on the show, and it is Episode 1, Invincible Passion, Doki Doki Errol's Burning Wet Cherry Blossom. This is the main gimmick of Evil Zone, and it'll wear out its welcome instantly. After character selection, we get an episode introduction and a random disconnected rant about whatever the character feels like prattling on about, followed up by a second fight intro with the characters throwing 3 or 4 lines back at one another. You are then given an end episode stinger after every match, followed up by a preview of the next fight. Meanwhile, the fights themselves are actually quite short, single round battles that only last around 40 seconds at best before the next time on Dragon Ball voice comes on and stops the game dead in its tracks. This game is so proud of the voice acting that it is actually the hardest unlockable in the game. Meanwhile, I'm skipping every single cutscene to get back into the matches.
You're nuts!
It's too much for a little girl.
Yes, that is Grandpa Tennyson. There were like 5 voice actors back then, so just roll with it. It's bad enough that this is most likely a Guts ripoff wearing Phantasy Star gear, but we've got much bigger problems. When I said this game had only one attack button back in the intro, I was not being cute. All attacks are done with triangle, and change based on range and directional inputs, which snowballs into you needing a dedicated block button that allows you to cheat the AI. It also means sidestep inputs feel off, with jumping being linked to specific attacks. This does allow for a neat little bit of strategy, using the jump attack to close distance and counter, but you lose all defensive and neutral control, and it doesn't really even feel like you're fully in control of your character at all times.
I'm getting excited!
Up next is Midori, who I really want to like. Tomboy lesbians that do martial arts is my gimmick, but they really went low effort on her moveset, especially the super, making her somewhat boring to play. The charge system is actually pretty great in concept. To gain a stock, you have to charge meter equal to your current health, which can make a low health opponent very dangerous and lead to a fun exchange when both characters drop. The major flaw being that you only gain meter through charging, which requires you to completely drop your defense, setting you up for a grab. Filling in the role of yokai detective is Kia. And Kia Boy would not be horrible in that context, but in this world there's not a lot to care about. And that goes even deeper into the plot itself, with the Western translation not even trying. So that's the version we're gonna go with, cause fuck it. So you got this random evil goth chick named Ira Darker, and she's fucking things up for everyone on Happy Island. So they seal her away into the evil zone for some undisclosed amount of time, but now she's about to bust out. So the people of Happy Island summon warriors from multiple anime dimensions to make them fight to see who's the best at punching people. And whoever is the best face puncher gets to go beat up Urba Derba, when the smarter thing to do would just be to have them gang up on her.
I'm going to destroy the armor because I don't like it.
90s voice acting was something special. Karadar, whatever the fuck her name is that 3,000-year-old ghost loli, so don't worry about the jail time, bros. It's all nice and legal. I've got the paperwork right here. They attempt to use her as a story device to bridge the gap between many of the characters, claiming that she created Errol's classic warrior princess-style magical girl armor, and that it was her job to seal away Ikaruga.
Errol, I can't let you fight Mihaduka.
Oh, how I hate this little wiener. Al is specifically meant to represent anime like Slayers, so the fact that we could have had a Naga the Serpent in this game, but instead we got him, is enough to earn my eternal hatred. He also serves to connect the story a bit more, having a relationship with Errol. Only problem is, these characters are supposed to come from different anime, so why would these two know each other, let alone be dating? He does not want his girl risking her life fighting an evil sorceress, so in order to keep us from harm, he attempts to beat us into submission. Easily defeating an unarmed 4'11" teenage boy wearing a skirt using our magical laser sword, we move on to the final and largest challenge, Arbiter the Witch Person. Sorry, I'm eating a sandwich. Two very big things stand out to me about this character. Her cool haircut and that amazing dress. But if I had to go with a third quality, it would be those fat, juicy tits. This final battle is a bit rough, and where you can give up on playing this game as intended. At the start of the run, I barely knew the controls, but by the time you get here, you will have figured out everything your character can do, which actually felt pretty good. And almost like the game was finally coming together to prove it was a real fighter. But the AI here will punish you for any attempt you make to play correctly, while at the same time being exploitable to the simplest strategy you could ever deploy: corner crowding with non-stop button mashing. One final blow and one final insult as it cuts straight to credit. No slow motion finish, no dramatic replay, not even a one-liner delivered to the main villain. The game just gives up and hands you some short silent FMVs, covered over by the credits, in an era where being able to rewatch the endings was a selling point. This was also the era of unlockable content, where they failed to deliver once again. It starts out promising enough, with each character having a third outfit you earn by completing their run. On top of that, Elkadork is unlocked and playable within 3 runs, and is kinda fun, albeit a busted character. The real troll comes with the voice acting unlocks, requiring you to win roughly 50 to 80 matches per character, and the final reward you will receive after spending hours doing this with every single one of them is a 6-minute comedy audio play where the characters thank you for playing the game while acting goofy and pretending that this is a real franchise, and is totally gonna get a hit TV show, and toys, and even an Evil Zone movie that we will still talk about to this very day. But I think you all know how that story actually ended. I'd love to spend more time with this title, trust me, but the outro music is already playing, so it's out of my hands. And yes, I do ironically love this game for the nostalgia. Even the worst games we talk about on here will have some redeeming qualities worth taking a look at, but we're also being realistic about it. This one really was from the time of Blockbuster weekend rentals, and despite the edgy "I don't have any friends" jokes, we were hanging out doing 4-player Mario Kart still at this point, so despite having plenty of people to play with, no one wanted to play this. We still do have some legit spooky month games coming. I'm finishing up Fatal Frame right now. It's a great game, just very monotonous. I will take that final lap around the mansion very soon. As always, thank you everyone for watching, and a thank you to everyone who got adopts this week, and I will catch you in the next one.